Club World Cup Fantasy Match Day 7 is finally here. The final game of the tournament, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going through my horrible Match Day 6 team results and also what I'm looking to do, as well as, of course, revealing the booster that I will be using in Match Day 7. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right. This is meant to be actually on the how bad I did. So let's go to how bad I did. 45 points, and it is a result of poor decision making. Because I decided to go early and make the transfers, you know, on TV or on live, whatever you guys want to call it nowadays, and it just went wrong. If I had just waited like I always did, then I think things would have been a lot better. So another rank drop to 2,556. Look, again, it's still a respectable rank, but you know when you're doing well and you know you can do better and you like really striving to do like even better, and things just go to boops, you know what, then yeah man, it's just like it's disappointing. I think my captaincy saved me still with Dembele, bringing him in, that was great, but the hits really just didn't help me, in all honesty. Like, I brought in Trent. I didn't know he was injured. I guess it sort of helped in the end of the day because also Samuel wasn't playing. So, you know, like, it's all those news that really just added up in terms of like why it helps sometimes to actually just wait for news. And it's not just about waiting till the last, you know, to the last minute to make a transfer. It's like you're waiting for news. You're waiting for someone to tell you like, cool, that guy's not available, or like, you know, this team's main player is not available, so move captaincy on there. So it's not like a lesson learned, it's something that I know I just didn't do, so I'm kicking myself. But yeah, it is what it is, man. So yeah, we move on, we go on. Played my 12th man chip, didn't work out. Yeah, I don't think there's anything much to be said there, because quite frankly there wasn't anybody else I would have played it on. Like, if I played it on Dembele instead of Palmer, would have been in the team either way. All these guys would have been in my team, all of them. So there isn't anybody I would have played that 12-man chip on that isn't already in my team. So I just feel like I would have got the same results either way. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's go into match day 7 and see what I am planning for my team. So match day 7, let's move to the transfers. Yeah, so this is what we're looking like right now. Cool, so I got a couple of guys out, 6 transfers. I'll have enough transfers to field players, of course. So let's talk about who the top transfers are essentially right now. It's definitely the main guys from PSG, and I think that's the front 3, which I have already. Then you definitely have Hakimi and Donnarumma, right? Who else do we feel like is essential from PSG? I feel just with removing a defender here, I think a Nuno Mendes for me is essential. He's also on set piece when it comes to corners, very attacking as well. So when it comes to my defense, I'm fairly confident when it comes to the better defensive team here is PSG, in my opinion, again. So I would be more heavy on defense in PSG rather than being 50-50 there, and I'd have those defensive players. Then going into the midfield / attack, I've got the players there. I think we can all afford them, of course. Then it's a matter of, do we think that having maybe a João Neves or a Vitinha or a Fabian Ruiz, who make really great runs into the box, and you can see all three of those guys have really had good returns when it comes to the tournament in one game or another. So outside of the front three of PSG, do you see yourself, do you see bringing in a Ruiz, João Neves or Vitinha? I think there isn't enough space for those guys, considering the other options from Chelsea that you would like to bring in when it comes into that midfield, in my opinion. So, for example, just going into Chelsea now, I want a Palmer, and he's in the midfield, and I already have a Pedro Neto, who's also in the midfield. So, for me, my next person bringing in here would be a Palmer. Now, Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, they are actually way above Palmer. Palmer's got 24 points when it comes to the total points. Palmer's got 24 points, whereas Fabian Ruiz and João Neves have got 35 and 38. So, and Palmer hasn't necessarily been like a light, but being an FPL player, we know what Palmer can do in terms of, when he's in those positions, and he can, he has the skill to be explosive and have a really good game if he really needs to or wants to as well, and he can. So, whereas I don't feel like, like again, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz are, it's one of those games that they can have, not necessarily turn it up on every game. And that's not to say they're not a good option for the final. No. They are a good option. They're in PSG, man. They're the favorites, they can pop off in this game. But in terms of, again, if I was to think, splitting things up, because I don't want to go too PSG heavy anyway, and where I would choose to go heavy is rather more so in the front three than opposed to having a João Neves and a Fabian Ruiz. To go differential, you can definitely go for the Fabian Ruiz and João Neves as opposed to the front three, because everybody else is going to have that front three. They just will. And maybe even that entire midfield that you're looking at right now, Pedro Neto and Palmer. So I think in terms of differentials, they're great. Enzo Fernandez is also great in terms of a differential in the midfield. For me, in terms of picks in the midfield, top transfers, that's as far as I would go in consideration of players in the midfield. I would just go to those guys. This current five that you're seeing on the team sheet right now, and Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, and Enzo Fernandez. Just those guys. I would not necessarily be looking at any other guys. And if you guys think there is somebody I'm not considering and I should be, please let me know down in the comment section below. Would love to consider them. Now, the forwards. It just sucks. I'll tell you why. Because in the forward position, right, when it comes to PSG, there's only one guy we can all think of, and that's Gonzalo Ramos. Ain't nobody else we gonna think of. Now there's Mbaya, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. But he ain't gonna play. Gonzalo Ramos, and even if that Mbaya play, he played like probably last 5-10 minutes, man. Now Gonzalo Ramos, I don't think he's gonna play, not with Dembele back and on fire. So in Chelsea, it's definitely a João Pedro, especially after his last performance. I think Jackson's gonna fall down to the bench. That being said, you are bringing in a João Pedro again. Now, bear in mind, this man on played 2 games only. He already got 14 points. That's as much as Delap, who's been playing games, and more than Jackson, who also been playing games. Delap, who's got 14 points as well, who's also in the striking forward position, is another option. And I think these are going to be the top transfers when it comes to the forwards, because, again, like I said, in PSG, there's only 2. One is definitely, and they're both not going to play. And in the Chelsea lineup, there's going to be one of these 3 guys in the front 3. So you want to be able to cover yourself for that starting lineup, basically. Just want to look at the time here when it comes to my specific time. Right. So, and then the deadline. What's the deadline? the deadline should be an hour before this, so it should be 8 o'clock. Now that's the thing here again, which might force me to make transfers before I even think, is I'm gonna be flying at the time, the hour before. Like I'm gonna fly at, this is 9, I'm gonna be flying at 6:30. I'm gonna be flying at 6:30, I'll be landing at 8:30. And by then I believe the deadline would be done. So if I say reset and I go down, say deadline's at 8 exactly, I'll be flying. So I have to make my transfers before the deadline. And right now, again, if I just do that, these are my transfers which I'm looking at making right now. Is that Palmer, and then in the strike force it is also bringing in these two. That leaves me with one free transfer, and again I think I'm gonna do it because I've got all the options, I've got all the players, I've got one free transfer if anything changes, if anything happens. Yeah, I think I'm happy also because I have 1, 2, 3 on the bench. I have one player on the bench. Revert. Yeah, I have that one player on the bench. And I got 3.7 million in the bank. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just like, I'm packing, I'm doing so much stuff. This is the joys of being a manager. And yes guys, I am doing it again live in front of you. I clearly haven't. I've got fatigue. I think I need to, and this is me like, yeah, mumbling and talking to you guys. I'm fatigued. Like I need to have my break. And that being said, I think that is a nice, I'm going to bring in Jean Neves there. I'm going to put Delap in because I think he will play. Sub in and confirm. And then when it comes to boosters, we all know I'm using max cap. Okay, confirm. Right, and let's just, for the fun of it, okay, doesn't matter because it is max cap, it will move it. Now if by the time the deadline comes through again, I will make a transfer just for the sake of, I believe I'm covered everywhere because of the sake of the fact that I've got one free transfer. I'll make a defensive transfer there. I think I'll bring in a Colwell. Yeah, but I'm gonna see if there's any type of news at all which, you know, indicates anything different. Yeah, then I'll use that transfer. So for example, if for some reason Due is injured, then I'll bring in a Fabian Ruiz or Enzo like I mentioned. If we have a what the hell, sorry, yeah, if we have a Fabian Ruiz, or if we have like sorry about that, if we have any injuries, then I'll use that transfer to make that extra substitution, that extra transfer, like substitute that player out. So I think I'm covered either way. I got money in the bank and all of that stuff, max captain as well. Yeah, and I think this game week, funny enough, there's not much really in my opinion to talk about. It's very straightforward if you all ask me. I think if you're covered when you got these players, you sorted, you know. Yeah, you're very much sorted. I feel like they're all definitely gonna play. It's just a matter of which Chelsea striker is gonna play, and then based on that, because they're gonna play one again, that's where that information is gonna come in hand again, that whichever one's not playing, I think it doesn't matter. I think I'll leave it on, because I was gonna say actually I think I'll bring in a Cole, another Chelsea defender, and just have him in the team instead of leaving the strikers on, but I think I'll leave the 2 strikers on like this, João Pedro and Liam Delap, in case one of them makes an appearance off the bench. Or maybe I should bring in another PSG defender, because I just don't see Chelsea scoring, man. I don't know about y'all. I don't see it happening, man. I really don't see it happening. And if that is the case, right? If that is the case, then Marquinhos, for me, Marquinhos, he's an option because he's captain. Pacho is should be back. Yeah, he should be back from the suspension. Yeah, so I think I'd rather go Marquinhos because he's, you know, captain. So sure, in 4 minutes, definitely should play. Want to lift up that cup as well. But yeah, that's me, guys. Announcement: I will be on break. You won't see any content for a while as we wait for the FPL to launch, and even when it does launch again, it will be a while. I'm going home to the other side of my country, South Africa, from Cape Town to Durban to visit family. It's been a while since I've been back, since I made the move here. So this is going to be my break. I still will be working in the background on something for you guys, which I've been working on already for the new season. Might not even come as early as the season starts. I hope it does. It just depends on a lot of factors. Really wish I could launch it at that time, but just want to let you know so that you're not like, where the hell is Cat? Games launch, stuff should be happening. Yo, holla. Nah, gonna take a break. Like you can see, I'm fatigued with this thing right now with fantasy, so it's gonna be a good break. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all your love and tuning in, everything. It means so much. I've grown so much. I've got about 4 subscribers left till I hit 250, on the road to 500, which is what I want to hit by the end of this year. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps so much as well. And once again, I truly appreciate all of your guys' support and words and lovely comments and everything. Really love it. I'll see you guys again soon. Yeah, peace, man.